Welcome to the Boomer Technician Channel. Today we're at the Denver airport waiting for a flight to Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to get into Charlotte and drive up to Concord to the National Mustang Museum and catch their yearly show there. It's a big show, lots of Mustangs, kind of looking forward to it. After that, we're going to run over to a show in Kentucky on Sunday, leave the car in Cincinnati, and then next weekend we'll pick it up again and do a show in Ohio, do a show in Indiana, and then we're going to take the car home because I've done 8 car shows in 5 weeks, and that's a lot of time on the road. Well, we made it to the show, and it's a bit quieter than I expected, but a lot of Mustangs here, and we'll take a walk around and take a look at what's here and enjoy the show. Now, I know a Mustang show isn't everybody's cup of tea, but this turned out to be a pretty good show. We've got a broad variety of Mustangs that showed up, mostly from folks down in the southeast around Charlotte, North Carolina. I didn't really talk to anybody who'd come from a considerable distance, although that's not to say they weren't there. Didn't have a chance to talk to everybody. But lots of years represented. 60 years of Mustangs, over 60 years of Mustangs now, leads to a lot of different Mustangs showing up. Technology from the 60s, technology from the 80s, current technology. And of course, these shows draw a lot of really hot cars. So that's always exciting to see. Here's a nice lineup at the front of the museum. And being in the southeast, we got a lot of convertibles because that's a part of the world where the convertible makes a lot of sense. In fact, I've been thinking about getting a convertible. I'm kind of leaning towards the early 2000s, a V8 GT convertible. Nothing super hot, not a Shelby or anything, but there's other options in the Mustang line. They did drop the convertible from 74 to 85, I believe it was, but there are some exceptions to that. We'll see one a little later in this show. But your thoughts on what kind of convertible I should drive would be welcome. Feel free to pop into the comments and tell me what your preferred Mustang convertible is and why, and I may weigh that into my decision-making down the road. And speaking of Mustang convertibles, those with a really sharp eye may have noticed that yellow convertible Mustang 2 off on the left there. It's one of 44 cars. They called it the Classic 2, and it was built by a coach builder down in Florida. And this one is a very nicely turned out car, recently restored, and they awarded the owner with this nice plaque. So it was nice to capture him and his Mustang 2 winning an award here at the car show. So the real feature of the car show was the Mustang Owners Museum here in Concord, North Carolina. The museum is unique in that all the cars are member cars for the museum. And inside the museum, not only do we have a lot of nice Mustangs, but we've also got a lot of memorabilia and merchandise hanging up on the walls. Here's kind of a view of the main car area. And as I said, all these cars belong to members of the museum, and they rotate them in and out every 6 months. And they tend to have a car in this shed called the Barn Find car. So it's a little rougher Mustang that hasn't been restored yet. But the rest of the cars are all very well turned out, great looking cars. And as you can see, looking at the walls, lots of great banners and information about the Mustangs throughout their production history. The cars are kind of tightly packed. It was hard to get some good shots, but I did find this really cool room just full of Mustang reference information. So if you're looking to find out more about your particular Mustang, you could join the museum, come down here to North Carolina, and spend some time in here checking out all the information available on the Mustang from day one until now. Here's another view of the main showroom. They've got about 25 to 30 cars here in the museum, and unfortunately they're crushed in so tightly it's really difficult to get up close and personal with them. We had lots of people moving around, and fortunately, they're nice enough to duck out of my way. But here's a Mustang, too. Of course, I've always got an interest in them. It's a King Cobra, and it's one of about 4,500, but it's also in a very rare color for King Cobras. You don't see a lot of yellow King Cobras. Once again, let's take a look at all the information on the walls here. I didn't have a chance to really look at everything. I was busy with the show outside, but they put together some nice displays here. They've got these banners up here. I'm assuming they're all related to various events here at the Mustang Owners Museum. But the other nice thing they have here at the museum is a line of different Mustang power plants through the years. And as a gearhead, it was really nice to get a look at them and think about the differences and the changes from year to year. I'm really interested in automotive technology, so I got up close and personal and perused over these pretty closely because it's interesting to see how things changed from year to year. Here's a map showing visitors to the museum, and they had a lot of participation from North America, but then just lots of participation from across the world. So the last thing we'll talk about is Ford Motor Company spokesman John Clore, who showed up and spoke at the event. And one of the things he promoted was the Ford Special Vehicle Registry, and I've included a link in the description. And if you have a classic Ford, even if it's not a Mustang, I'd recommend you include yourself in the registry, because should Ford need a car like yours in the local area, if you're in the registry, they'll reach out to you and request to use it. And if you're not in the registry, you're out in the cold. Well, it's time to wrap up our trip to Charlotte, North Carolina. But before we go, I wanted to stop and check out the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I haven't been here since 1973 when I briefly lived in Charlotte, and my dad and I caught the Charlotte 600. Great race, great memories, and a great time. I'm not sure the stand that I sat in is still here, but certainly the racetrack is, and it's still going strong after all these years, which only emphasizes the fact that no matter where you go, there you are. Okay, there is one last thing. After John Clore got done speaking, they had a drawing for a 2009 Ford Shelby GT500, and remarkably, the winner was in the audience. So let's enjoy his surprise and delight at winning Shelby.
Awesome. Yeah. So Delilah's going to pick the winner of our 2009 GT Shelby. All right, here we go. Reach in there. Just make sure you just pick out one ticket.
Grab one, girl. Just pick them. Straight and go.
Got one?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Anthony Green.
Awesome.
And here comes Selena. Can you complete the area you shot?
I mean, you somebody want a couple tickets, but a lot of people here.